Hey, fellow freaksters, it's Tim from the Moratorium. Just here to remind you that if you enjoy what you hear, please like, share, and subscribe, then rinse and repeat. We're just a couple of small-town nerds trying to make sweet geek love to your ear holes, and we could use your support. Check out our website for movie reviews, links to social media, merch, movies, and more. You can find us at themoratorium.com. Now that that's out of the way, on with the shenanigans.
Welcome to the Moratorium. I'm your host, Tim Kornman. Each week I will be joined by some esteemed, and I use that term loosely, movie watchers, and breaking down some of the weirdest and strangest films to ever, not necessarily, grace the big screen. These are the deep dive oddities and backroom bootlegs that appeal only to the die-hard film fans. So sit back and enjoy the ride into the dark vault of the movie moratorium.
I wanted to talk to you for a minute about
Herbalife.
Wishmaster.
Oh, okay.
We brought up Wishmaster not too long ago, right? Were we not talking about is it Andrew Divoff, whatever the hell?
Yes. Yes.
He's just one of the guys with the eye patch, right?
Just one of the guys. Okay, yeah.
Did we do a deep dive on him or just highlight it? I have no idea. Everything's a blur at this point.
We talked about him briefly because we brought up Oblivion and how it was a Charles Band joint.
Okay.
Yeah. And I think I got him confused for one of the Bond villains.
One of the Bond girls?
I don't know. I mean, you would think he would get some dermabrasion or something before that. His face is like...
Only a mother could love. And that's why we're on the radio and not on TV.
Oh, yeah. You don't want to see us. You do not want to see us. I don't think we ever got to where we could say his name without saying it twice just to make sure that we got the pronunciation right.
We're going to say it both ways, so, you take whatever you want.
Yeah.
We mispronounce everybody's name except for M. Emmett Walsh. So
yeah, and Renee Auberjonois. That's the only one.
It's the only ones we're positive
Had
about.
to get it in once.
Anyway, I was watching Wishmaster, all right?
Okay.
The first Wishmaster, because it was on...
Mm-hmm.
It was on the other night when I was going to bed. And of course, it was at the very beginning.
You didn't buy the special edition Blu-ray? Or...
No. That sounds suspicious.
Yes, it did a little bit.
But do you remember the movie at all?
No, not really.
Not really. Because it involved a little gem of some sort that...
Yes.
The scientist or whoever, put a laser through it and it opened up a portal to whatever that unleashed the... Is he a djinn? Djinn? The djinn?
He's a genie.
He's a genie.
Yeah.
Well, in his primitive form, as he's unleashed, he's like a little baby, right? He's just kind of crawling over to the scientist who's laying on the floor because he got blasted to the ground or whatever.
Okay.
It's not until he's able to get people to wish things that he's able to develop into, a stronger being.
Okay. That's confusing.
He's crawling over to the scientist, and I was reading that was actually played by Vern Troyer.
Oh, my God.
That was Mini-Me.
Because he's a little guy.
So, very interesting.
Yeah, that is interesting. Also, Joe Pilato is in Wishmaster, which I could not have... I don't even think I could have picked him out. He's just a construction guy that I guess gets wishmastered.
It gets wishmastered.
This movie is gross.
It starts off, well, I guess they were loading a crate that had this giant statue idol or whatever, trying to load it on a boat, and some guy, they're just like yelling at each other, and a guy like spills coffee on the controls, and it drops the crate down on top of a guy. It just crushes him.
It's a bad place to be. I love those things. I wish we could just do like a supercut of like every like construction site accident caused by some type of, paranormal whatnot.
Or a cup of coffee. I just watched another one in, that wasn't paranormal, but the show The Master with Lee Van Cleef.
Uh-huh.
They're doing the same thing. There's the guy that's too old to be doing this, kind of like Lee Van Cleef. He's in his 60s, and he's like, come on, bring it back. And he's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. And then the guy just forgets what he's doing and just like drops a cargo thing on him, on his legs. That shit. Well, actually, the Master gets out of the van and
does he come over and do like a Miyagi karate chop into the crate or
no?
Okay.
Because it's Lee Van Cleef. And you can only it's going to switch to his stunt double pretty quickly. But he throws a big Chinese star and it just like severs the rope. And he only got his hips crushed. He could have been killed. Anyway, what were we talking about?
Yeah, exactly. Emmett Walsh.
For a brief second, I was like, are we doing this over Wishmaster? Because I probably ought to watch it again. Then it came back and I was like, oh no, we're doing class of... Well, maybe we should just say who we are first.
Maybe. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, welcome to the Moratorium. I'm your host, Tim Kornman. And
I'm Jason Walker, the co-host.
Yeah.
Did you say this week? And now this week, my co-host is...
And next week...
Have you been
plotting?
Have you been seeing other podcasters?
I'm cheating on you.
Look, we have an open relationship. You can see other podcasters.
All right, and we are watching Class of 1999, which was released in 1990.
Right.
But
so in that 9 years, shit really hits the fan.
Really hits the fan. I was going to point out, I read that it actually was supposed to come out in October of 89. And they pushed it back to May of 90.
Ooh.
So, I don't know why. I didn't read that far into it because I didn't care that much.
Like, I care. I mean, I probably should know this trivia, but let's face it. I'm not going to remember that.
No. So technically this could be considered an 80s film still.
Yeah, sure.
But this being our first actual 1990s movie that we've covered.
Wow. Is that right?
That's right.
Well, I like those statistics. I mean, I think we should just keep on. In this movie that I really felt it, Yeah, I mean, if they're in the 70s or the 80s, I can find something to like in almost all of them.
Mm-hmm.
But man, when it starts creeping into the 90s, and I don't know, there's something missing. Maybe it's just the fashion that is pissing me off or something. Because in this movie, it is like, oh, guys, you're in a like tough street gang. And you are dressed like Little Steven from the freaking Bruce Springsteen's band.
I had never seen this movie.
Really?
Until last night. We'll see.
Because you chose this movie.
I chose this movie on your recommendation. Actually, we had talked about it before, knowing that this was a place we want to go, and I couldn't turn myself away.
Yeah. Oh, it has some great stuff in it. Stacy Keach. I mean, it opens on Stacy Keach, and I've already got a lot to say about that.
I will say, when I saw Stacy Keach for the first time, I went, "Holy fuck!"
Yeah, it is. I mean,
it's jarring.
It opens on a rat tail. Okay, it opens on a horrible. Right in the middle there, right, like late 80s, early 90s haircut.
Mm-hmm.
I think Grace Jones had this haircut in like circa like 86 or 87. It is a flat top on top, and then it's almost a mullet. Like it's in between.
I would have called it a mullet.
He has like a little like possum flap of a
yeah
bit of hair hanging down his back. And then he turns around, and I don't know if the technology was not there in the early 90s, but I don't think he's seeing anything out of those white contacts. What do you think? Because his eye line is real weird. Like if he's supposed to be talking to somebody, his eyes are like, they turn into like Marty Feldman's eyes. Like one's kind of wandering, or like Cosby's eyes. How that one just kind of looks off to the side. Anyway, he looks creepy.
Oh, super creepy. It is, like I said, jarring.
Yeah, it's intense.
There's actually number 43 in IMDb's picks of class of 1999.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those ice blue or white even contacts that he's wearing.
Yeah.
With the silver fox hairpiece or whatever he's got. But he's still got the dark eyebrows and the mustache. At least he has a mustache.
And the I mean, I don't know if it enhances or kind of like belittles like what else is going on, you know? Would you rather him have been like that little caterpillar gone, or what do you think?
I don't know. Either way, you're not looking at his stash, so it doesn't matter.
No,
you can't get away from the eyes and the hair.
The eyes, yeah. The eyes are really spooky. And for those listening, like they really are just like some cheap like Halloween, you know, contacts. He does not look comfortable in them.
No, he may be wincing throughout the entire thing. That's why he's so creepy looking.
That's true. That's what informs his performances. His fucking eyes feel like they're about to pop out of his head. Do you see the one where he's like almost seductively eating a banana? I don't even remember that scene from the movie.
Oh my God. When he was doing it last night, I was like, oh, wow.
He's in like a creepy corner of the lab and just eating a banana with those eyes and that hair. That's so weird.
What weird choices.
Maybe this podcast is where we should talk about it, but his film roles are so diverse and so like Stadenko in the Cheech and Chong movies. Like you can tell he's kind of having fun with it, you know. He's totally having fun with it.
Maybe he's laughing. He's just like, I'm getting paid to do this.
I think so.
To break it down, so I guess Malcolm McDowell he's the principal.
Right, correct.
And they've hired this government agency type thing. OCP. They've hired OCP.
Right. Because the regular police will no longer
intervene.
It makes it sound like local police used to like patrol the schools.
Mm-hmm.
The gangs and stuff have gotten so bad that even the cops won't go in there, you know? Okay, if things are that bad, what's the purpose of going to school? You know, like, they need to be out hunting, like, swamp rats or something, or whatever they eat. Or fighting, like, radioactive mutants. Have they ever... Was there, like, an event in this one that explains, like, why we're where we are? Because if there was, I did not pick up on it. Dude, it is a cold open on his hair. You are in the lab, and he starts explaining robots.
No, I just started the film. I wanted to talk about our main character for a second.
Yes, Bradley Gregg.
Because I didn't recognize him. I did recognize him, but...
yes, you knew he was from something.
He actually looks younger in this than he did in Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3.
I would also say he's much more likable in Part 3. I like this actor. He's kind of... I mean, you know, some of the dialogue he has in this movie are pretty ridiculous, but he's great in Dream Warriors. And he has a really cool death in Dream Warriors.
Yeah.
I admit I had to look him up too.
That's the only thing I really knew him from.
Yes.
But actually, he was in The Explorers.
Oh, he's the other kid, right? The one that you never can quite name?
It says Steve Jackson's gang.
Oh, so he's a bad guy. So wait a minute. The original was River Phoenix, Ethan Hawke.
And Jason Presson? Is that correct?
Oh, man, I don't know. Gosh.
I'm looking at photos here.
I should have had my Explorers. I haven't seen that movie in forever.
I saw it at the theater. Yeah, that was Jason Presson was the other kid.
Did he just not go on to do anything? Because I do not recognize him. Okay.
Might have to find him.
And River Phoenix had a pudgy little face when he was a kid.
But I didn't realize this was a Joe Dante film.
Didn't
know that.
I mean, that makes sense because I remember watching it as a kid and feeling like, this is really dark. Like, do I want to be watching? I mean, they dealt with some like subject matter that I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was pretty scary, you know? They're like getting in this thing and like going God knows where.
Mm-hmm.
Their parents really should have.
No, they had horrible parents. Oh, there's Robert Picardo. I didn't realize he was in Explorers. He's got some white hair.
Was he in makeup?
Yeah.
Oh, it's Rob Bottin did the special effects for Explorers. Or at least I see his big shaggy head right there.
So anyway,
Again.
But our guy, Bradley Gregg, the kid with 2 first names.
Never trust a man with 2 first names.
But he was in Indiana Jones and Last Crusade.
Maybe that is where I like recognize his face because he's like the kid that's with the bad guys, right? At the very beginning.
Is that right?
Yes.
Oh,
yeah, he's
okay.
he's like the River Phoenix version on the bad guys side in the opening scene.
Okay.
Yeah. So
he was also in Fire in the Sky.
Oh, he wouldn't have been. Yeah, he must be one of their kids or something because.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to look him up here. He was in Night Watch. I love this movie, Night Watch.
The one with Ewan McGregor?
Yeah, Nick Nolte and Josh Brolin.
Yeah.
Great freaking movie.
Yeah.
But then we've got Whiplash pretty recently. I mean, he's been around. He has 45 credits, but he's been around.
Right.
But I didn't recognize him. He looks totally different, to me at least, from Nightmare on Elm Street 3, which was just a few years before Class of 1999.
Well, and also, like I said earlier, he is dressed like... Okay, I got a question. Mm-hmm. Because I didn't want to rewind it and actually listen to the dialogue. Was he in juvie at the beginning, or was he like in real prison?
I mean, if it was juvie...
It looks, yeah.
There's some old people there still in juvie.
Right? Like, I've been in detention for 40 years. Yeah, you're right.
But no, I thought about that too, because maybe they just merged them both together.
Yeah, it's like...
So inmates are inmates.
Right.
I guess he gets paroled? Is that it?
I have no idea.
Here's the breakdown, the robotic voice in the beginning. In 1992, there were 543,000 violent incidents in American high schools. In some cities, the area around these schools were beginning to fall under the control of violent youth gangs. By 1997, the number of violent incidents had tripled. Gangs had taken control of large sections of these cities. Some schools were shut down. The year is 1999. The gang-controlled areas... Oh, it went too fast for me. Damn it. I had to change the voice. Yeah.
Yeah.
But what I wrote down was, is this Escape from 8th grade?
Right. Yes.
Because it felt like Escape from New York.
Yeah, sure.
Same setting.
The future, like quote, end quote, is basically just like, it's always this, or at least this era, like City Limits. Have you ever seen City Limits with James Earl Jones? And it's horrible movie. But it's the same thing. It's like, okay, we're in the future now. They're thinking in like 1988 or something. So we're in the 90s, it's the future. Everybody is going to drive like dirt bikes, but we're just going to weld a bunch of stuff to them,
Mm-hmm.
And everybody is just going to go to the thrift store and you've got like $20 and you pick out your costume and it is just so much color. I mean, this movie is ridiculous. When you get to like Joshua John Miller, a lot of purple, a lot of polyester, not really what I would think of as a tough street gang,
No.
One guy's wearing again, purple turtleneck and like a sequined bandana.
Yeah, I see a lot of bandanas.
This movie is drowning in bandanas. On your jeans, on your head, in your back pocket.
So they're in gangs, but they're still all showing up to school.
Yeah. Yes. Like they are blood enemies. And they're like, all right, man.
I thought that if I joined a gang, I could get out of going to school.
Exactly. I just broke this guy's arm in like a brutal street fight, but I do need to get to bio, I'm going to get detention if I, It's like, wait a minute, that guy almost killed you.
There are so many fights in this film, which you think...
And non-fights?
This person's not going to get up.
Yeah.
And yet they're in the next scene.
Yeah,
and
totally fine.
Yep.
Just went to the nurse.
Yep.
Got a Band-Aid.
Got a wet nap.
Yeah, he just stabbed you in your spleen. But again, it's like, wow, why is school... It's not that I fast-forwarded through the movie. I've kind of had fun watching it. Mostly because of Joshua John Miller, I think. I love him. He is...
Yeah.
When he's in a movie, you're like, oh, boy, this is going to be, we don't have to talk about him now because I feel like we're going to talk about him later when he pops up. But
the film really just opens up in a board meeting.
Right.
With silver-haired, wide-eyed Stacy Keach.
Yes.
Talking to, like, the board of directors for the school system?
Maybe.
You guys have the worst school, so we're going to implement 3 of our best educators.
Right.
That was a quote.
Yeah.
Educators that are military robots?
Yes.
Do I have all that right?
I believe so.
In which one of them always has a pipe in his mouth?
Yes. If that pipe had become a weapon later, it didn't, did it?
No.
They should have,
He could have totally put somebody's eye out with that thing.
Missed opportunity. It was a deleted scene.
I will say that I read that there was a director's cut of this film, but it was mostly because of the violence. And really, it said they were so minuscule that you'd have to put them side by side to really see any of the differences.
Yes. This movie kind of creaks along for a little while. But man, the last 30 minutes of this movie is wild. Like everything explodes. The whole set, they just blow up and set on fire.
There's so much gunfire in this film.
Right.
I don't think they hit their target until the third act.
Exactly, yeah. Then, one person
Nobody
died.
gets shot
Yeah.
until the third act.
Yeah, it's like G.I. Joe, where there's just lasers everywhere and nobody ever dies. There's no consequence for anything.
So I want to point out one more thing before we really get started. Stacy Keach, I wrote this down. Stacy Keach at the time of this film is 1 year older than I am now.
Wow. Okay. All right.
Malcolm McDowell is a year younger.
Wow. Really?
Yeah.
Because he looks
very Play-Doh-ish.
I thought he was much older, I think. Interesting.
Let me see. I'm sure I wrote that down. Yes. Malcolm McDowell is 47 in this film, and Stacy Keach is 49.
He was in some pretty cheesy movies, after Clockwork Orange, Mm-hmm. He's done a lot of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, his IMDb just goes on and on and on.
I read that he was only on the set for this movie for 2 days.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. That is what I got out of his performance. Look, guys, he's like looking at his watch. I'm gonna hit craft service and get the fuck out of here.
I did write down here that Stacy Keach looks like Terrence Stamp had a kid with Meg Foster.
Yes, I see that. And I also felt that way about, we should say that the robots that they have, and we're calling them robots, right?
Sure.
I don't know what term
androids, robots.
I don't know if they use a certain term in the movie, but they were never people, right? They're like Terminators. They're meant to look like people, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so they're robots. The first guy, which I kind of glanced around and I was like, yeah, I remember him from that. He's just a real like stone face. It looks like he's more used to being like a Russian like special agent or something, right? That guy.
Mm-hmm. Kilpatrick.
Yes, right. I recognized him from X-Files, and
we've talked about him. Yeah,
yeah. You'd know him if you saw him. And then the older guy. Which I had him open here. Where is he?
I did not look him up.
I confused him for Dan O'Hurley. He kind of looks like... where is he? John P. Ryan.
John P. Ryan. Mr. Harden.
Yeah, and...
Oh, yeah, I recognize his face there.
And then the third robot is Pam Grier.
Pam Grier.
Who is just...
She's looking great in this film.
Amazing in anything she does. She is not averse to like getting thrown around. I mean, I don't know about this part of her career, but when she was, in all those movies with, like The Big Bird Cage and Coffee and all that stuff, just gratuitous nudity. And not afraid to get in there and like do some stunts, I mean, like she gets thrown around and punched and, and in this movie you can really tell like there's a couple of scenes where she does some stunt work.
We'll talk about it when we get to it, but there's a scene that when her first discipline scene with the kids, it's like, it was like, they're scrolling through their applications to find out how to deal with the kids, so it shows them on screen, how to deal with them and to take force.
Right. And yeah. Is any of them just like straight square kick them in the nuts? Is that one of the moves?
It should be.
Yeah, it should be. At probably like 6:15, there's some gang members that are kind of like hanging out in front of the school. One of them, their hair is so insane. I just want to see if you're seeing the same thing I am.
Well, I wanted to point out, so he gets paroled.
Right.
From prison.
Okay.
All right. We're calling this prison and not juvie because when he's walking out, there are prison dudes there. There's a guy that has a full back tattoo and looks like he's in his mid-50s.
Right. So he's not like, he didn't get held back or anything. He's a adult.
So he gets paroled and they're going straight to school.
Yeah, he gets paroled at like 6 a.m. They're going to get a light breakfast and then just,
There's basically 2 cars that they try to soup up, is it?
Okay, so he has 2 friends that are picking him up from jail.
Right.
His name is Cody, by the way. I don't know.
Cody. Yeah.
He's being released at the same time that Stacy Keach is giving this presentation for his robot killer teachers. I mean, come on. Killer's not ruining anything. It's not like a spoiler alert. They look evil as hell and like,
I guess he drove straight through the bad part of town of the There's two rival gangs. Maybe we should break that down. What are the gang names? One of the Razorheads and...
Oh, yeah. Razorheads. I kind of like that. He gets picked up from prison by two friends, right? Or so Angel,
Joshua John Miller and
Burroughs,
Sonny Darren E. Burroughs.
But they're basically driving a Buick Riviera, is what it looks like, with all this added, like, kind of like ground effects, I guess we'd call them, like back in the day. So it's just old, like a Lincoln's huge car. But it's futuristic, quote unquote, because it's got like a Rolls Royce grill just kind of welded onto the front of it. And also, the Burroughs guy, what's his name? Sonny?
Yes.
Sonny also has a like spade on his neck. And I think that is like when they finally get to school, Cody like pulls his shirt down to show that he's like, he has a tattoo that proves that he's been like released from prison or whatever.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's not, it'll never come up again, but
But there's basically 3 vehicles that they've souped up.
Yes, right.
One of them's just like an old truck that they added some shit to.
Yeah, which is pretty good.
But then there's like a station wagon thing that has like a turret seat in it in the back. And
yeah, it looks...
They're driving through the rival gang's territory to get to school.
So that confused me. Like, I mean, he's apparently been gone for a few years. And
they warned him.
Yes.
They're like, you don't want to go this way. And he's like,
Right. And I think maybe he did this because he was the leader of their gang when he was out. So he's kind of like, testing the waters with his, All these movies are the same where, you see this rival gang leader. They drive through his territory. They are armed to the teeth. They all have like,
Uzis and
the H&Ks and...
They're driving 20 miles an hour through this this rival territory. There are bombs going off.
Everything explodes.
Explosions everywhere.
Yeah. There's just debris. Yeah. Lots of debris.
The rival gangs flip their vehicle.
I mean, that really is the best part of this movie is if it's like vehicular, like, destruction scenes, those are all done pretty well. For as cheap as this movie seems, it seems like they put it all out there. Yeah, that truck that's like an old square body Chevy, and it flips they send it like 20 feet in the air. Also, they kept the shots of like the guy in the back is obviously like a mannequin with a wig on it, and they're just like, he's already gone through rigor mortis. That's how dead he is. Just killed him really good. I do like the bus with the big cage on it. Yes, yeah, that's pretty awesome.
There's 2 of them. There's another one when they pull up to the school, which actually has like 2 guard shacks, 2 guard towers. Okay, so the bus was behind them. So the route that they took, that's just the way that they get to school. It is through a like Beirut looking suburb. Mm-hmm. Did you see the thing with the wings that like pulls in beside them when they get to school? Yeah, it's like a 3-wheeled motorcycle thing, but it has like, an air dam in the back. Yes. It was weird, and I wanted to see more of it.
Yeah, me too. I wanted to see that thing just like launched into the air and blown up.
Yeah, it was a missed opportunity there.
So these 3 numbnuts finally make it to school. And Sonny is immediately put into like an armbar or like a...
Oh, well, the security guy wanted to look in his car or something. And
he flipped him off.
And doesn't Sonny get beat up like so many times in this film? Isn't he just totally bloody?
Yes.
And those pants.
Oh yeah, they're like your sister's yoga pants or something.
It looks like they raided my wife's closet.
It looks like they raided like Matthew Lillard's closet.
Well, I think it's the same closet, just from the 90s.
Oh, maybe. This was like a time of big jackets.
You've got the 3 robot teachers walking in.
Yeah, look totally normal. Nothing to see here.
So it says identification, Kennedy High School, population 3287, gang members 2210.
Okay, whatever that means.
Violent incidents equal 1 every 2 hours and 38 seconds. I'm like, that needs to be updated because there's been violent incidents every 20 seconds that I noticed.
Right. Yeah. There has been 0 accidents in 0 seconds.
Recalculating.
Yeah.
Recalculating.
Just last thing about the wardrobe. Those pants that we were talking about, your sister's yoga pants, they are on another guy in another scene. He's real tall and he's got long hair, but it's the exact same.
I think I just saw him. Did Stacy Keach just look at his ass?
Same pants. Maybe they just were on sale.
The same thrift store.
The same thrift store.
So at the school, they have now taken over like the janitor's closet to put in.
Yeah.
There is a multi-monitor surveillance system that all seem to have this run off the same camera. If you notice.
Yes, exactly. It's just multiple shots of the same thing.
And this was filmed in Washington State, just like they said it was Seattle.
Okay.
I did read that they were trying to find something in California, but this was a better setting for them.
Right. That is odd because there is none of that California. Like everybody's in a coat in this, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it is kind of weird. Normally these type of movies, they're a dime a dozen.
When the teachers are going through, the robots are going through, what do we call them? You want to give them a name?
The name of the company is Megatech.
Okay.
I don't know if that is important or not, but I saw that earlier. Megatech.
But there's a green sign on the wall that says whack keeps your school a safe place to learn. Whack.
Okay.
What is whack? Whack keeps your school a safe place to learn. Knowledge through discipline was a sign as well.
Oh, that's always good. Yeah, teach them something and then hit them in the head. It's also odd that, he flashes that. I still can't tell if it's like a heart, like a black heart.
I see a lot of these little tattoos, though. They usually have them on their faces, their neck, and his just happens to be below a scar on his chest. I don't know what it means.
Yeah, the Sonny, his is on his ear, like it should be an earring or something.
Mm-hmm. So rival gangs, same classroom. Immediately, Cody's macking on this girl who is that is supposed to be Malcolm McDowell's daughter.
Yes,
the principal's daughter.
Yes.
Okay.
Which you only learn, I think, in one kind of thrown away line. Cody says it to Malcolm McDowell. He's like, or no, he's one to like throw Cody in the, whatever, detention or something. And somebody says, but, he saved your daughter.
Gotcha. Well, I'm in the classroom here that, who's the lead bad guy here for the other gang?
Well, so
wasn't he just in a horrific accident where they just flipped the truck?
Yes, he definitely broke his nose.
But he looks perfectly fine here.
I guess. Yeah. And sees him in class. And he's like, man, I really hate that jerk. He killed like 5 of your guys in a huge explosion, like at 6:00 in the morning. So maybe that's just so common that, and they still do paper airplanes in the future. Yeah. At least that's kind of grounds you.
He gets one to the side of the face. When Pam Grier walks in, and he kind of grabs it and looks at it like, that was a tipping point.
That guy behind him had to turn in a shotgun when he went through the turnstile, but now he's like shooting spit wads at him. It's all fun.
Were the security guys handing out tickets for it was like, here's your gun, here's your ticket for your gun.
You can reclaim this when you leave.
Exactly.
It's like going to a concert or something.
Okay, so she starts confronting the guy he's just trying to get some money out of a kid, just trying to get lunch money. I guess he wanted $60, and his name is the Spider, Ramos. Because she has her little screen pop up when she's talking to him. It says problem, classroom situation, uncooperative students. Option is educate or discipline. And it says Ramos, a.k.a. the spider from the Razor. I guess the Razor Heads is what it was supposed to say.
Yeah, Razor Heads.
But she's going through select verbal commands. Like, it's just kind of fun.
Yeah.
This is the scene I was saying, because it actually says, like, take physical punishment. And it says mild, moderate, severe.
Right.
And she selects
fight combination number 1.
Yeah. Fight combination number 1. And really, she just kind of shoves him around.
And another guy that just happened to, he wasn't doing anything.
Just knocks a couple of them over. And that's it. That was my fight combo right there. Stomped on his foot.
Yeah. Push 2 guys and stomp on foot. These are these are like state of the art.
All right. So she has now restored peace in the classroom just by stomping on the guy's foot and pushing the other 2 down. Now they're like, she means business.
Holy shit. Did you see the way she pushed that guy down? Never seen anything like that before. He did fly back like 10 feet, but it's one of those things where it's kind of like he jumped at the last minute, you know. He's doing the majority of that.
And in the control room, they are applauding the fact that she has done so little and restored peace.
Yeah, everything's going according to plan. Seems like she could have calmed them down in some other way.
So I'm watching Cody and the
Tracy
new love
Lynn.
interest, Tracy Lind. I wanted to talk about her too.
Christy.
They're walking down the hall, and I'm just looking at everybody in the background.
Mm-hmm.
The costumes are never ending.
Yeah.
But you see those little tattoos on just about everybody's face.
Almost everybody. Yeah. In a different place every time, which seems like a weird way to... You'd think you'd put it in the same place every time so that you could, But that's that got me thinking, like, well, is it on his cheek because he only did like 1 year? Or, maybe there's a difference, but that seems silly. Also, when they all clear out to go to their next class, that is just a... regular old high school.
Yeah.
It looks so clean, and there are cameras everywhere, but that probably isn't that far from I don't know how I guess cameras in school probably isn't a thing, is it? You've got a kid. Do you have cameras in your school?
Oh, yeah, there's cameras in the school.
Yeah, it's just a regular, like, suburban, like, high school.
The bell rings and everybody clears out. There's a couple of security guards walking the hallways. It is clean.
It's like, what are you going to have for lunch, Mitch?
Why was it Stallone?
I don't know. We could imagine their dialogue, but I guess we don't have to. Did you see that teacher throw that guy? Yeah, just like tossed him like 10 feet away. He jumped at the end, but still.
Did you catch that ludicrous display last night?
Ludicrous? So now they're in history?
History.
Geography. Yeah, history.
Sure.
I'm thinking history.
When everybody gets in the classroom, he's trying to settle people down. This is the older, what do we say his name was? Damn it. We just looked him up.
John P. Ryan.
John P. Ryan. He starts kind of just scoping everybody out. He reaches over and tries to touch Cody's head, like play with his hair.
Also, the rival gang has one girl in it, which seems normal for the whole movie. Like, you have to have like a token gang girl, She's dressed like them. She also has a little black heart. So there's this other gang that Angel was trying to tell him that, they used to be friends before he went away. And now they're kind of like walking around sniffing each other's butts, like trying to figure out who's, But she walks by Cody earlier and kind of lovingly touches his hair. So weird. I don't know.
It's strange.
Yeah. Neither here nor there, just interesting. Or not.
But I like how John P. Ryan's going through and scanning and looking at different kids, and he looks at the one girl and it just says, possible drug abuse.
Yes. Which, she does look like she's on something.
Something.
The actress and the character. Because she's sitting with her feet in the chair,
Mm-hmm.
But he is giving a really, eccentric performance here. He's got a whole history for his, what did we decide we're going to call him? Teach bots or like,
sure.
Teach bots is horrible.
We've got to come up with something by the end of the episode.
Yeah, at the end, we'll tell you guys what to call him forever.
So another fight breaks out in the classroom over what were they?
In a really weird fight, like he's slapping the top of his head.
And select corporal punishment.
They just go straight to, they just breeze past, all the other options and just goes straight to violence.
But I love that he grabs them.
Oh, yeah.
Pulls them both up to the front of the classroom, holds one of them down with his feet while he spanks.
Yeah, the spanking.
I wanted to count how many times that he spanked him. Because it goes on forever.
And really like taking a 3-year-old over your knee and I guess, I don't know how spanking works, but also that is not sped up the way he's spanking him. He's spanking him like kind of like a who's your daddy type spank, It doesn't look like it's for disciplinary purposes.
But his performance, though, look at when you see his face.
He is so intense. Like Malcolm McDowell wishes he was as intense as this fucking dude. And Stacy Keach is basically like jerking off. He's so happy that everything is going according to plan.
So he goes at it maybe 20, 30 spankings on each of these kids. And when he's done, he just kind of pushes them off into the floor and grabs the other one and just going to town.
He spanked them so much that they can't get up off the floor. He's literally spanked them into unconsciousness, which I don't think you can do.
I'm willing to find out. Come here. Where's my kid?
Yeah, I am thankful that he got rid of that bizarre grin. If he had been grinning like he was in the beginning and spanking them,
that'd be a little too much.
That would be a bridge too far.
All right, man. We can tell our audience that you can watch this for free on Tubi.
Yeah, Tubi, Tubi.
Tubi. That's where I'm watching it now, and I'm. I mean, there's commercials, but what do you want for free?
Right.
So when they let out of school for the end of the day.
Yeah.
There's somebody wearing a full-on mask. There's somebody with a big ring around his neck. I don't know what that is.
I don't either. There are a lot of movies from around this time where this is just like what they thought, a few years in the future would be, which is so like hyper-color shirts. I guess they've gone to Sonny's house.
This is, I think,
Angel's house?
Angel's house. This
Cody's house?
They're brothers, aren't they?
Yes, I think so. Yeah.
When they pull up into the driveway, you can actually see bullet holes in the car.
Oh, yes, right.
That would make it seem like they were actually hitting something with the gun.
Right.
They fire so many bullets and hit absolutely nothing.
Yes.
You would think there should be some shattered glass or something, but...
Right. And also we should say that there is a future drug that people sniff. I guess it's kind of like cocaine or something.
Mm-hmm. But what was it called?
I don't know. They say it in that very first, because he throws some of it out the window when they're driving to school, because Sonny was doing it. When they get home, is that their sister or their mother? That's a big question.
I think it's their mother. So she's strung out on drugs, and he's trying to ask for the drugs right now because it's Edge. That's what they're calling it. Edge?
I guess.
Everybody's just hooked on it.
Yeah, right. Yeah, Sonny is addicted to it. You don't ever see Angel do it, I don't think.
No, he's totally against it. He's been turned around by the system. Juvie's done him well.
Right. He does not look like he's been in jail. Cody doesn't. Tracy Lind is the only normal-looking person in the entire movie. She's dressed like of the time, time appropriate. Mm-hmm. Her hair looks really good. But she is literally the only one that is not in leather and like a cod piece or something.
The other gang is the Blackhearts. There's your tattoos. Black hearts and razor
Why
heads.
was I so convinced that that was a sign of them?
I don't know.
Maybe I just made that up. So everybody that has that is in that gang, because there's a lot of people that have that thing on them. I mean, their gang is like, it's got like 30 people in it.
Mm-hmm.
I wish you hadn't have said that, because now I'm like more confused than I was before.
Now, something we did gloss over, that this is a sequel to Class of 1984.
You have confirmed that.
It's the same writer, same director.
Just making sure. I didn't dig that deep, which also, Class of 1984, which I have watched recently, is, I don't know if it's a better movie than this. The story, I think, is more kind of compelling than this, you know. But it also has Timothy Van Patten in it, so as the bad guy, which is odd.
All right, so they're at home. They finally come home. Joshua John Miller goes back to, I guess Sonny's been beat to shit.
Yeah, I didn't get that. Like, he says to them, the Razorheads or Razorbacks or whatever, beat the shit.
But he also said the Nazi guards.
Yeah, maybe.
So, whatever, he got beat to shit by a bunch of people.
He looks like G.G. Allen, like he cut his chest. Mm-hmm. Somebody cut his chest a lot. Which, how did they get to it under like the layers of clothes that he's wearing?
I don't know.
But then he says that you guys drove off.
Yeah.
And it's like, I didn't see him out there.
No.
You said you were going to be waiting by the car. Not our fault. But anyway, so they all do some drugs, and
Joshua John Miller goes to steal the drugs away from Mom.
Right.
To give to Sonny.
Right.
Joshua John Miller stole her crank to give to Sonny because he's all beat up and he needs crank.
Oh, okay.
Man, I haven't had it all day, man. I got beat up. I need some stuff to make me forget.
Yeah, I think that would make him bleed faster.
Yeah.
I don't know. You would probably know. Is that true if he was on like methamphetamines?
Cody's belt.
Yeah.
Is it like 4 or 5 inches thick?
Yeah.
And spiked back in the 80s when we had those weird spikes that aren't really
bracelets
spikes.
And the fingerless gloves with those spikes all over them.
So we're back at school immediately.
Is this the second day, I guess?
I assume it's the second day, but
we're calling this Tuesday.
Sonny is still wearing the same clothes and still all bloody from the day before.
Yes.
Everybody's wearing the same clothes. If it's the second day, or if they just go home for lunch. Is that what it was?
It seems like going home for lunch, coming back in and get the metal detector again. It just seems like too much. They're going to keep them on campus for lunch.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I'm calling this Tuesday. I don't know that Tracy Lind is she wearing the same clothes that she was wearing earlier?
I wasn't paying attention.
That's what we need. I mean, that's the main clue.
Because she immediately gets kind of hassled by one of the rival gang members, and
not kind of hassled. He really
he's going after her.
Yeah, it's creepy. He touches her boob, and the good thing Cody's there to kind of jump punch him. He was punching the top of his head. It kind of changes, and you're the bad guy's perspective, and he's punching down at the top of his head.
Just going back, I think Tracy Lynn's wearing a totally different outfit.
It's Tuesday.
It's Tuesday.
One of the robots is the gym coach. The one that looks like an assassin from a Bond movie or something.
Yes.
And he is in a full... When it's on a dude, do you call that a leotard? What is he wearing? It's just a...
It's a unitard.
He looks like Mikhail Baryshnikov with pads on.
Who's he getting to do push-ups here?
I thought it was the rival gang member, but then I saw that his hair is down to his butt. It's not the same guy.
I don't know. This is an odd gym workout sequence.
Also, that dude is giving a very eccentric performance. If he's supposed to be a robot teacher, their emotions are all over the map. You would think that they would just be stone-faced, but they're actually enjoying beating the crap out of all these humans. So do you think that is something that is added into their programming, or are they like malfunctioning by doing this?
Yeah. I have no problem with them beating up on the kids.
No.
They seem like asshole punks anyway.
They're basically you in this situation. Like they're your, what's the word? Like your surrogate. You want to beat the shit out of these people, but it's satisfying when they do it.
He challenges Cody to a wrestling match and then throws him to the ground and then
just wails on him.
Bashes his face into the mat.
Yeah. It's like, you didn't even say go, buddy. There is a scene directly after that where Stacy Keach kind of gives some mumbo jumbo. Well, so the kid that he was making do push-ups goes out, has a little hidey hole in his locker with Edge, the drug, and a big old gun in it.
And he sneaks back into the gym, which everybody else is gone. Oh my God. He is just punching Cody in the abdomen repeatedly.
Yeah.
And he's just beaten to a freaking pulp.
Right.
So I was trying to get this guy's name. The guy is just wandering in. He's just high as shit.
Yes.
With the gun, trying to stop
the Coachbot. Patrick Kilpatrick? Mr. Bryles is his name.
I think originally when I saw this, I thought it was Sonny that he broke this guy's neck. But I think we find out later. Yeah. It's not Sonny. It's just that everybody kind of looks the same because they're all wearing such weird clothes.
Yes.
There's so many different characters in this film.
Yes.
That trying to keep track of anybody's name is just a feat.
I feel grounded when I see those pants, those kind of orangey, like that everybody's wearing. I'm like, well, okay, well, at least I know this guy's wearing those stretch pants.
So he wanders in with the gun to try to kill the coach, and the coach just breaks his neck.
That actor, like, in that earlier scene where Cody is talking to Malcolm McDowell, he tries to get up, and the coach bot is standing behind him. He throws him back into that chair so violently that I almost wonder, like, did Bradley Gregg know that he was going to? Because that actually looked like it hurt, you know. He for sure, like, chipped his tailbone or something when he threw him back into that chair. But yeah, when he breaks that kid's neck, it's like, ooh.
There's nothing to worry about, Marv. They're just learning. So I guess he's saying that the robots
are like evolving or something, or their programming is, which we've established in other, cyborg movies. I won't name it, but once they start like kind of their own AI, that's not a good thing ever. Ever, ever, ever.
They called the one that died, his name was Mohawk. That's the kid who got his neck snapped.
Which he did not have a mohawk, I don't think. He just had some awful, like, hair extension that was in the back, held by a very girly, like...
banana clip.
One of those, like, clasp things that has a chopstick through it or something.
So everything looks kind of peaceful here in class. In history, everybody's being very, very calm until Sonny comes in.
Yeah.
Who's still all beat to shit, wearing the same pants.
Yeah, he's kind of stumbling around. Is he still beat the hell out of from after school the day before?
I assume since this is Tuesday.
Or did he get the shit? Is he just getting the shit beat out of him every day?
It's probably both. So problem says drug abuse and take action. If I had those pants, I'd wear them too.
Yeah, I mean, they look comfortable. Those are the same pants, literally the same pants that like 4 or 5 other people are wearing.
They're just sharing.
Cannot stress that enough. But now that you say that maybe they're all in the what did you call the gang with the tattoo?
Blackhearts.
Maybe that's a Blackheart thing. It's like we're the Blackhearts, but we also wear like yoga pants.
He vomits.
Yeah, like some white stuff.
The bot. We gotta have a name.
Yeah, history bot.
He drags him over to his locker to open it up. He punches his hand straight through that locker.
Yeah, like it's made of tin foil.
opens it up and then just finds all sorts of drugs in there.
Yeah. It's like when those little vials are empty, like half of them are empty, I would think. You just throw them away.
But he shoves them in his mouth and he's just immediately starts foaming some weird pink stuff out of his mouth.
Yeah, it's like if you put a Alka-Seltzer in your mouth and pretend you're a rabid dog or something. But it's red.
Shoves him in his mouth and starts banging his head up against the locker.
Which, he's been through a lot this week, you know?
I guess he leaves him to die. He's killed him, he's left to die, and goes back to teaching the class, and he has the crucifix. Now, is this not reminiscent of prison as well?
Oh.
He has that crucifix necklace that he slides into his pocket that came off of Sonny.
Right. Yeah.
So the bot is now taking
like trophies.
Souvenirs? Trophies? Yeah.
Yes, he's like a predator. That actor is like, it feels like they just let him loose on that stuff. Like,
I mean, John P. Ryan?
He's giving a very, like, strange performance.
He's got some contacts in, too. Ice blue eyes.
You think so? Those are contacts? You don't think those are his? I don't know.
They're just bright blue.
This is the banana eating scene.
The banana incident? Is that what we're calling it?
Also, behind them, there's like some future stuff, which I'm not sure. They're not in that room. They're not in the monitor room.
They're in the principal's office. Yeah.
Yeah, but he's got a map, basically, of the school, I guess.
Yeah.
But it just looks like kind of a video game console sort of thing. And an old one, like an Activision or something. But if you told me that Stacy Keach would have a white rat tail, white eyes...
assaulting a banana?
Eating a banana with a sinister look on his face, I would have slapped you. And then I would have watched this movie and been like, oh, I'm sorry I slapped you because that totally happened. And what came out of that meeting? It's like...
nothing. You guys are being harsh on the students.
He's like, guys, you can't kill everybody that you see. And they're like, yeah, piss up a road, go to hell. And they just leave. So Malcolm McDowell his things are getting out of control, and that one last banana bite gets me every time.
It's that sinister look on his face as he's like, potassium.
I said that earlier, and then I'm like, well, maybe that is just his resting face is a sinister look. Stacy Keach,
So what did Cody stole something from the secretary's desk at the principal's office?
I didn't see that.
Yeah, he just took a letter or something.
Huh.
Did that come back into play or something?
He's looking at those teachers saying, like, there's something going on, He's smarter than the average bear. Tracy Lind she's not a great actress. She's very pretty. She's not a great actress. The costume from the day before... wait a minute. She's had 3 costume changes, and this is only Tuesday.
Was that her in that Swami headdress?
Yes, she looks like freaking what's his name from Pee-wee's Playhouse? The genie in the box.
Mecca-High-Mecca-Hiney.
Yeah, that guy. She has like a straight up turban on. Which is weird. And a white shirt and no bra.
Yeah.
Which I thought is, come on, guys. Plus, she looks like she's 18, which is weird.
Which makes you wonder how old Joshua John Miller was the youngest. Yeah. He hasn't shown up in a minute.
No,
it's about time for him to get beat up again, isn't it?
Yes. And also, did Sonny die? Did they establish that?
Yes. They said that he died of an overdose.
Okay.
In that little scene with Tracy Lind and Malcolm McDowell, they were going to protest against the teachers, and that's what he said. That boy died of an overdose. He was a drug user.
Yeah, overdose would be if he was like taking a shit and he died in the middle. I'm sorry, that's tasteless.
Tracy Lind she's born in 1968.
Oh wow! See, I would have thought that she's like My age.
She was like 23 in this film.
Wow. Okay. So that's the thing. She just has a like baby face. She seriously looks too young.
And she has not been in anything since 1997.
All I know her from is Fright Night 2. She's the love interest in Fright Night 2.
Mm-hmm. All right. So now it's just a giant mosh pit. Is this a club?
They're under an overpass.
Oh, so this is outdoors. See, I didn't get that at all either.
He walks through and kind of shoves the guy. It's like the bouncer or whatever, or the doorman, you know. He kind of grabs him and just throws him against the side of this building that they're in. And then we never see that guy again. He just walks on through into the party. But it was funny because he was like, I don't know if he asked him for, like, what is he going to ask him for? His ID or... I don't know. Anyway, yeah, he fucking manhandles that dude.
And this, if this is a club, because I was laughing at this last night when we were watching it too, because there's a random gunfire shooting straight up into the air.
Which, I mean, it's the future. You're going to have some random gunfire.
Yeah. Oh, so I guess this is an initiation because our kid just said he's now a Blackheart.
Yeah, right.
They're beating the living crap out of him.
That's what I got too. It's kind of an initiation, yeah. Those two, like Sonny and Angel, well, all three of them, have fake like blood appliances on their face for a good portion of this movie, you know.
Throughout the film.
Also, did you see that scene where it looks like Stacy Keach took Malcolm McDowell like out to a nice dinner or something?
Yeah. What was that all about?
Just to add to the weird, like idiosyncratic performance by Stacy Keach. He's drinking milk and also has like a school ring on, just like with a big fake gem in the top of it. It's just so weird. And all he's saying to him is basically, you know, we're on track to like put these killer robots in every school in America. So yeah, they're going to kill a couple of kids, you know, but what are you going to do? So that's all that scene did.
And so he basically takes up for his kid brother.
Yes, again.
And then in return gets the living crap beat out of him.
Also, I keep on saying that I'm not going to talk about the wardrobe, but I obviously am. Also, through this entire movie, I just want to make this clear that he's wearing skinny jeans and a turtleneck, but also these weird, like, they almost look like what Eddie Murphy was wearing in Coming to America. They're like an African necklace, you know, like it's made out of bone or something.
Yeah.
So, in a movie full of weird looks, the main character looks really weird too. So just thought I'd throw that in there.
So he comes back to school. That can we assume this is Wednesday?
Yes, Wednesday.
And he's still in the same clothes. Every day of school so far, he's been beat up.
His superpower is to be able to take an ass kicking and then go to school the next day.
So he comes in and goes to Tracy Lind, who's at the lunch table, it looks like, whatever. Scares off her friends. And she reaches up and she's like, oh, what happened to you? Like, I'm like, oh, she notices the fresh bruises.
Yeah.
He's been beat up every day. He has constant blood on him.
Right.
He has to be soiled with so many bodily fluids.
Yeah, I don't like the other gang. Like, I do not like the main guy of the other gang. He's kind of like a sort of low-rent Val Kilmer kind of...
Yeah, okay.
Tracy Lind just looks like she came from the mall in, like, the early 90s.
Yeah.
She is literally the only person at this school that washes her hair and her body.
So, did you notice, though, they're drinking out of juice boxes?
It says soy milk.
It's Eden soy.
Is that supposed to be futuristic? Like,
I don't know. I mean, that's pretty futuristic to drink soy milk out of juice boxes.
And probably not very... That just sounds disgusting.
She's quick to jump on the bike with him as he's riding through town. As they're trying to find out more information.
They're obviously on a little trailer that's kind of just like pulling them along with the camera.
I mean, they're not going very fast at all, but Have you ever tried to read anything on the back of a motorcycle?
Yeah, that seems dangerous.
She's reading from a pamphlet.
Yeah.
And that's impossible.
Right. Yeah. And having a normal conversation with him, too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she for sure would have fallen off that bike like 3 times.
Easily. So it looks like they stop off in like North Hollywood Hills or something.
Also, there are still like West Side Story switchblades in the future, I guess, because 2 people have already had them.
Yeah.
It would not surprise me if I saw like a switchblade comb at some point.
Mm-hmm. No, Sonny, he pulled one out to go after the
yeah, exactly.
the T-bot. We call them T-bots? No?
Still
working on it, guys.
Still not great. So, whose apartment is this?
They're breaking into the house that all 3 of the bots are living in.
And is that maybe what he stole off the desk that gave him a clue where their address was or something?
Maybe so.
Also, I love there is just straight up a Ford Taurus in the future. You know, it doesn't have anything. It is a light blue, like a powder blue Ford Taurus in the future.
That's funny. So they break into the house just to look around, and he opens up a cabinet door in the kitchen, which has a Clean All, which is a contact cleaner. And then another cabinet just has WD-40.
And it's like, there's something weird about these teachers. You know?
But the display, it's not like they...
Yeah, somebody faced all that stuff.
Perfectly.
I mean, I guess they're robots. Everything would be like super tidy.
Super aligned.
Did you catch the Pam Grier big boob conversation?
Oh, between Tracy Lynn and him?
When they're in the apartment. They find a big, I'm saying like a big lace bra. And...
oh, yeah.
She's like, well, who do you think this came from? And he's like, definitely Mrs. Connors, which is so there's like even in this movie, it's like her boobs are like legendary. Yeah.
Basically the T-bots.
For lack of a...
I'm going to keep using it, but I don't like it.
I have nothing better than that, so... Literally nothing.
But they catch them... in their place, snooping around.
Yeah.
But now let's eliminate the bad influence.
Okay.
So they're going to chase after them while they're on their motorcycle. Patrick Kilpatrick, which is, his stunt double.
Yeah.
Jumps off the balcony.
I know, right.
I mean, it's obviously not him.
He almost looks like the friend in like Mad About You. Whoever the stuntman is, he's got like was it Richard Lewis that had that like kind of mullet, like that big, big 80s mullet that guys had. I
would pay to see Richard Lewis do some stunts. Oh my goodness.
He's like, this is going to throw my back out for sure. What do I do? I mean, and he just puts his hands on his hips.
So they're chasing down Cody as he dropped off Tracy Lynn and let her run through the park just so he could get away.
The other robot, the John Ryan, is reading the instructions for driving.
Yeah, the vehicle.
Wouldn't that be... I mean, they'd carpool.
That should have been a simple download for them.
Yeah, like a 4 megabyte download, along with like maps.
They're trying to fishtail the motorcycle by ramming it.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, this kid would have been thrown...
would have been road pizza
a long time ago. Road pizza.
A gentle tap from a Ford Taurus would have just sent him into the river. Oh, yeah. And they toss a Taurus like freaking 300 feet.
I guess this was a bridge that was not completed.
Yeah, right.
Or what, and he just happened to know to lead him down there.
Yeah, it ends like a dock, but it's like a straight-up highway.
So he purposely crashes the bike just to get out of their way as they launch into the Hudson.
They are in that car and did that on purpose.
Which I was reading, it's actually on some of the trivia that was talking about that.
Taurus tossing?
that I guess the water was so cold that because they're walking out of the water. Yeah, they're wearing wetsuits underneath.
Oh, damn, dude.
Because it was so cold.
This movie must have been miserable for those three people.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so now they're back at the pad.
Yeah, he went back home to grab a beer, and is our kid, Angel, is he wearing Sonny's pants now?
He's been wearing those. I think it's just a Blackheart thing.
Does he have a microchip hanging from his ear as an earring?
No. That'd be fucking awesome, though. I want one of those.
But yeah, you can kind of see as they're walking out of the water, the T-bots.
Yeah, that
they're looking a little thicker.
The coach bot is huge,
but you can see the old man
is a little.
He's looking a little bulky.
Yeah. Also, like, if our week is working out like we think, this is probably Wednesday afternoon now or something. Hard to tell. Angel is completely free of cuts and abrasions, and also so is Cody.
He's healed up nicely.
His lip might be a little swollen. They have repeatedly gotten the shit beat out of him for 2 or 3 days now.
I don't think that Joshua Miller knows how to dribble.
No, he's doing it with 2 hands, which seems like in a real game that would be problematic. And he traveled right then.
So Cody just left him. They were playing horse or whatever. And he just left them to go run off. And so Angel's walking home by himself.
Also, a sure sign that he's going to get the axe is they actually walk away. They've been fighting this entire time. And when he walks away, they're actually kind of on, they've settled and.
So the T-bots are going after Angel. Target enemy.
Am I wrong? Okay, yeah. Dude, he gets thrown like a bag of laundry at a barn.
That was awesome. I laughed out loud.
It really does.
I'm
watching it again.
So
I want to watch it again to see if it's a real, if it's a stunt person or not. Because he hits that like, just like wet clothes.
He's 8 foot off the ground.
Yeah, I have to get my eyes on that scene again.
Patrick Kilpatrick picks him up and just
launches him. And also, that's why I'm kind of going back through this is he looks like he grabs him by the crotch when he's carrying him oddly. It's not like a fireman carry or something. He's almost like a little kid that he's letting like sit on his shoulders. But his other hand, it just seems like it is right there. No, that is a stunt man.
Vern Troyer, maybe?
He did get smaller as he like... and they all lean in menacingly.
So I guess the T-bots are just going mad. They're just...
That's what I was going to bring up earlier, is they're trying to kill Cody. He wasn't even at school. I mean, where's the boundary? You know what I mean?
After they throw Jonathan Miller into the barn, which, is he dead? Does he come back? I don't recall.
He's definitely going to have a limp.
It'll heal tomorrow. Wait till Thursday. It'll all clear up like acne.
Yep. If you can just make it through 24 hours, it'll be healed in the morning.
But the bots stop and grab a guy who's got pizza.
Yeah.
And I thought it was a pizza delivery guy at first, but then we go back to the Razorheads hideout or whatever, and the main guy is like, man, I'm hungry. So basically they grabbed the guy that had the pizzas into the car and took them to the freaking hideout of
the Blackhearts,
the Razorheads, to set him on fire and throw him through a window.
So wait a minute, you're saying that guy that they threw through the window is the...
I thought it was the pizza delivery man, but it was actually one of the gang members that was going to get pizza.
They steal the pizza guy's car. It's the same blue Taurus. So I guess they knew that they were going to launch that thing into the river, and they're like, okay, we've got to do all the Taurus scenes. The girl in the Blackhearts, her performance is like she is on drugs. She's giving a really weird performance in this whole movie. She looks like Courtney Thorne Smith if she had a meth problem.
Yeah. Joshua John Miller's not dead, but
No.
he's battered horribly. He is dying.
Yeah.
All right, so they've rallied.
They are declaring war on the teachers?
I guess so. Are the gangs going together, or is Cody just rallying his guys?
That's what usually happens in these movies, but it's hard to tell.
There's so many characters.
And Cody gives like a Henry V type like rallying speech that's just a few words. I mean, he is pissed.
Let's kill the T-bots.
And then they just like calmly pull up to the war.
Okay, so Stacy Keach is going down into the dungeon area where they're... I think you're right about him not being able to see through those contacts
Yeah.
because he looks robotic.
Yes, very.
He's walking down the stairs. He's like, I can't pivot my head
Exactly.
because
Exactly.
I have a pinhole that I can see through,
Right.
and that's it.
Yeah, poor guy. I think it's cruel to make him walk downstairs. They're just like, let's see if he does it. Oh my God, he's fucking doing it.
They're taking bets in the background.
Right. Well, Stacy Keach is a real prankster on the set, you know.
The two rival gangs are actually meeting up at what is this? A marina?
Oh, it's like a
Yeah.
wharf.
Yeah.
It's like a, yeah.
But that's when you get to see more of the freaking futuristic cars.
That, by the way, have already been wrecked in the first scene. They show that like short wide Chevy again. And I was like, that thing blew up in a mushroom cloud. We all saw it.
But there are mortars being thrown.
Yeah. And at who? I cannot see who they are combating.
They're fighting each other. It's the Blackhearts and the
guess.
Razorheads. But I thought they were rallying against the teachers, but the teachers show up
Yeah.
to kill everybody.
Right. I guess. Yes.
But these rival gangs shooting back and forth at each other. Still, so far in the film, where are we? We are 55 minutes into the film. No one has been shot.
Right. Exactly.
There's been thousands of bullets.
Yes. Everyone has two guns and no one has been shot.
Ever.
This also does look like a fun, like, paintball course, which is basically all they're doing is just playing paintball.
But now they're starting to throw some mortars. And finally, one guy does this commando flip into the water after a mortar goes off. Yeah.
Like he's on a springboard or something.
And now the T-bots are just taking evasive action. It says isolate and terminate.
It's very weird watching John P. Ryan kind of be sneaky. He's like your grandpa.
And he's crouching as far as he can, but
Yeah. Look, I'm not going into a full crouch, guys. You can fuck off.
in the meantime, Patrick Kilpatrick is just grabbing people and throwing them and snapping their necks.
That's his go-to move, is just like throw somebody as far as you possibly can. Why wouldn't you just like punch him in the throat and just like crush their larynx or something? This is because he likes it.
There is a scene with the T-bot vision that says 13 and 14 and the body count is going up.
Yeah. Right. Like student bodies.
And he throws a grenade into a boathouse to kill a couple of people and then dive off, kind of like a Rambo.
It's hard to tell where it's like a junkyard / fishing village or something. I don't know.
I did not look up to see what the budget for this film was.
I have it, actually. I looked at it earlier. I wanted to know. It was made for...
Wait for it.
Just as a comparison.
Wait for it.
Class of 1984, the movie that this is a sequel to, it cost about $3 million and made $7 million.
Wow.
It was and I think that's the year that it came out. That's not like of all time, you know.
Okay.
So it was a successful movie. This one did not do so well.
No?
No. And it was only, I think it cost two something million to make. And I don't think it made a profit at the box office. But like you said, it seemed like if they had brought it out around Halloween, you know.
They made it on less money, and
well, yeah, less money too.
I have not seen 1984 either, the class of 1984. I just assume that it wasn't as violent as this one.
No, not really.
I mean, bought on student violence.
Yeah, you would think that this movie would be more because literally from this like point on through the rest of the movie, everything explodes.
Everything.
Like everybody's got squibs and shit's exploding. And
there are some scarecrow dances.
Yes, love it.
That finally they're hitting people with their bullets. Cody and some guy, they got into one of the buildings and they're just shooting back and forth at the rival gangs. And one of the T-Bots, it doesn't show who did it, bursts through the wall at his midsection, grabs him around the waist, and just tacos him through the wall.
Yes, it's like a remake of The Blob, just kind of snaps him in half when he goes through.
Beautiful. He's in two pieces, and it's the old man bot.
Yeah, he did it. Yeah, for sure. And yeah, they show that guy is just like his legs are one place and his torso's like facing the other way.
It's beautiful.
Pretty cool. That's probably the best scene so far. I mean, like, Cody doesn't even have his finger on the trigger very often, but he's like shooting the entire time. He also has managed to get into more gear.
Yeah.
He's got 3 necklaces now, a hat. Yeah, that's probably the coolest scene of the movie so far. He's got a big butt. Like that guy, they show that guy that got snapped in half. His butt's really big. Nobody's figured it out that they're robots yet, I don't think.
Well, I mean, Cody shot him like 4 times. He shot the old man 4 times, and now he's just like, something's up with this guy.
Right. He also has joined the Blackhearts. I know I'm watching this with like no audio on, but I must have missed that because he's got like a Blackheart jacket on now.
Well, I thought he had a Blackheart tattoo from the beginning. I mean, he was a part of the Blackhearts, but he kind of just separated himself from the gang.
Yeah. Yes. But I think once Angel died, he fully committed to, look, who cares? Let's just blow some more shit up. I love Pam Grier walking around with a gun, just looking kind of put upon. Like, if she turned to the camera and was like, see what I got to put up with? That's kind of like the look on her face. Now they're at that gross, like, crash pad.
Yeah. I guess it's Thursday morning now, and Tracy Lynn's walking to school. At the crash pad, that they're trying to explain why they think it was a bot, but he has more exposition when he grabs Tracy Lynn. Cody does, and he's talking to her about how he shot T-Bot 3 and he didn't go down.
Right. I mean, the whole point of the scene, I think, is just to, he's figured out that these guys are something else. There's a movie called Disturbing Behavior that is kind of like this movie that is, much better, but like this is kind of the same scene.
Just looking up now because you brought it up, Disturbing Behavior, which had James Marsden, Katie Holmes, Nick Stahl, and Steve Railsback.
What? Really? I don't know who Steve Railsback was in that
William
movie.
Sadler?
Yeah, I remember him. It was a good movie. I liked it.
I think I'm getting more confused with The Faculty.
Yes, you are.
That probably came out about the same time.
The Faculty's aliens and Disturbing Behavior is basically robots.
All right. Moving on.
There's a long talky scene where Stacy Keach is laying it out for Malcolm McDowell, like what's going on. And it doesn't, that the robots have kind of like, they're off the leash now.
They've gone rogue.
But none of this has anything to do with the school. No. They're just like randomly killing people.
No, they have totally gone off the map now.
Oh, I didn't realize they're just going to go ahead and do away with Malcolm McDowell.
Well, I mean, he spent his 2 days.
Yeah, that's true. That was a really cool, like, when he picked him up and like he like shoves his fingers into his. It was a real Roadhouse like kill.
But you got to say the special effects there with the finger holes in his neck. That was pretty cool.
Not bad.
Not bad.
Yeah. A lot better than throwing him against the wall. You can only do that so many times.
The barn.
You're throwing him against a barn again? You've got like thousands of kill moves in your memory.
In your BIOS.
Switch it up. It's like his kills are on shuffle or something. Or repeat.
You know your training's complete when you can hit the broadside of a barn with a Joshua Miller.
Yep.
I was really working on that joke.
Yep. Yep. And you're like, see that like patch over there that's not quite painted? I'm gonna aim for that. See how close I get to it. Like the bots are like cunning and also have a sense of like sarcasm, and
they're very well programmed.
Yeah.
So Pam Grier went to her house.
Yeah, tracked her down. That's kind of a creepy scene because all the lights are turned off, and
so she grabs Tracy Lynn just to get everybody to
like provoke Cody or something. Yeah. It doesn't look like Cody could organize a walkout at a Walmart or something like, and all of a sudden he is just this brilliant military leader.
And it's showing the control room, and I guess the bots have shown up and just killed everybody in the control room.
Right.
They've gone totally rogue now.
Does that mean against Stacy Keach as well? Are they still doing what he thought they were going to do? Or because this entire time he's been like, you know, you got to break a couple of eggs or something. But now they're fully like killing all the like the only thing that was like stopping them, I guess, which it hasn't done a very good job. They've literally been able to kill anyone that they see.
Unabashedly killing everybody.
Yes, just everyone, and having fun doing it. Also, there was a guy in that battle earlier when they're just like tossing people around, and he lands on like a couple of like pallets, like wooden pallets, and they just look like Kit Kats because they all kind of like explode around him. It's just balsa wood, you know. It was just funny to me. A lot of Cody giving speeches to the Blackhearts to get them pumped up. And
is he trying to join forces now in front of the school?
Yes, with the Razorheads. This kind of trope, I have seen this so many times, in particularly this type of movie, like this dystopian gang movie, which is the leader of the rival gang is always like, they used to be friends and now they're enemies, and then they finally like join up together at the end.
It's the thing to do. So just looking up here real quick, actually class of 1999 made almost $2.5 million at the box office.
Okay. So maybe not as bad as I thought.
But I didn't see how much they actually spent on it. So they have straight up rocket launchers.
Yeah. Where are they getting like these military weapons from?
And the ammunition, because I don't think any of them work.
Yeah.
They're just gangs.
Yeah, they're just like...
They're high schoolers.
Yeah, they're like, okay, we just killed all of those guys. It's almost 10 o'clock. I really need to get home so I can wake up in the morning and, you know, I got some homework to do.
So they break into the school and they're riding these motorcycles around.
It's awesome.
They break into some of the classrooms and start circling around the classrooms and win the motorcycles. You know how difficult that would be?
But it looks fun.
It does.
You know what I mean? And then Pam Grier comes up out of nowhere and just clobbers both of those dudes. And she is squibbed out.
Yep.
When she does her little scarecrow dance. And she's got kind of a big dress on that they can hide those squibs in. And she's got that giant wig. And that for sure is Pam Grier, like, having those squibs all over her, I think. It looks just like her. Which just makes me like her even more, you know?
They stab her and, like, I guess some fake guts and stuff. I mean, why not? I mean, why?
Yeah, something plops out of her.
These are total robots, but let's go ahead and give them some fake intestines. Yes. Just in case somebody takes an x-ray.
Did she have to fake eating a sandwich earlier in the day, and now that's just what's become of it? Also, when Cody stabs her, I feel like I should point this out. When he stabs her, she kind of grips the kind of fake skin and pulls it apart to show her, like Terminator stuff underneath. And you can clearly see her nipples on her fake chest.
Oh, yeah.
There is nudity in this, but it's fake robot nudity.
Yeah, fake robot nudity.
So I feel like they could get away with that. But I liked that scene where her hand kind of melts and turns into a flamethrower.
That is pretty badass.
That was pretty cool. And the coach bot, they face him too.
And he just rips his own arm off to unleash a Tommy gun?
Like a Gatling gun.
Gatling gun? Okay.
Yeah. They just are like, well, the jig is up. They all know this now. So let's just act like robots and kill everybody. But what's funny, though, is like the coach bot, never before, he's been able to make facial expressions.
Now he's total botted out.
Yeah, he seems like a completely normal person, except he looks like an assassin. Through most of the movie, and then when it reveals his Gatling gun arm, now he's walking like a
exactly.
It's like, what caused that? Why don't you just stroll around like you have been for the last hour?
And it looks like a Gatling gun, but it's shooting like missiles.
Yeah, it does have a missile that shoots out.
And he blows that guy out the window.
Yeah, this is the beginning of just full-on mayhem and destruction.
After he blows that guy out the window and his bike just skids across the land, he has this little smirk. It's like, see, I'm still like in here. He just smirked.
Yep, I still got it. The old magic's still there.
So Cody's just lone wolf in it now, trying to find Tracy Lynn.
Yeah,
away from all the action.
Yeah, she's in a cage.
Does he have like a Han Solo blaster? What is it?
Maybe.
It's kind of like a laser sighting. Maybe if they use that, they'd actually hit their targets.
Yeah, don't know that he has been able to hit anything, and yet he finds Tracy Lynn in this like kind of cage, and he kind of looks at the top of it, shoots 3 like random bullets, and the door just slides open. I was like, if you had that type of accuracy earlier, this whole fucking thing would be over by now.
Maybe he should have pressed on the gate before he shot and realized it was unlocked.
Yeah, it was already open. Probably. Now we see the history bot, who for real looks like Mr. Rathbun, my history teacher when I was in junior high.
But he does his little scarecrow dance as he's getting shot.
Yeah, he does a little bit in his vest.
But I kind of like when his hand pops off. What the fuck is that? It almost looks like
it's just a
grappling hook type thing.
Yeah, or like the claw from the claw game, like when you're trying to get a teddy bear or something.
Yeah,
but more deadly.
I love that. He grabs him on the forehead. And it has a drill bit in it.
Yes, kind of phantasm similar. It drills right into your forehead.
And he says, "I love to mold young minds." This is what he said right before he drills into his head. His eyes are so wild, and he has this wide mouth look.
Yeah, he's like the most insane of all of the killbots. Okay, he throws Cody on the ground after he kills this blonde kid.
Mm-hmm. But Cody just shoves the minigun in his face and just blows the back of his head off.
Before that, though, when he throws him on the ground, something weird is going on, because he throws him on the ground and then goes to get up and has like his crotch right in his face, which I guess is the only way that he can put that claw on his face. But it just looked real weird and sexual.
And now you've got ultra big chested Pam Grier. Her chest is huge now with the fake prosthetic.
Yeah, her boobs have gone completely out of control.
But that flamethrower arm is pretty freaking cool. It really is.
I just noticed at the end of that scene, the blonde that's like dead against the thing, Cody picks up his hat and like throws it in his lap or something.
Something like that.
I don't know. Pam Grier's chasing them. They find dead.
Principal, Malcolm McDowell.
Yeah, her chest is insane.
But they go into the biology class, and Cody breaks the glass to get a fireman's axe. In this school, with this problem children, gang members.
Yeah, it seems like that would be
that axe is going to be there.
Yeah, maybe it's like a rubber axe. It's just there for like when they do like inspections and stuff. And like, yep, still there. Yeah, that's a huge axe too.
So they're luring her in, Pam Grier, into the classroom. That is a prominent fake robotic nipple.
Yep. It's always there.
They make sure it's in the scene.
It's weird. It's like that painting where everywhere you move, it's like constantly looking at you.
And I can't stop looking at it.
I wonder if they molded that from her real boobs or, oh well.
You can always hope.
All nipples aside, her kind of final form is pretty cool. She's got a bullet hole directly in her forehead that's like oozing green stuff. And one arm is a flamethrower.
He throws the axe at her, and it hits like a combustible tank that is her energy tanker, and she explodes.
I don't know. It looked like a can of Lysol in there or something.
But she totally just blows the entire classroom up. Yeah,
that biology class, I think, would have blown up anyway if they hadn't been there to instigate it. As if all those things are just laying out on the table caused a giant explosion. I just don't remember that from high school.
So Patrick Kilpatrick's the last T-Bot left.
Yeah, and is also like kind of chasing them like Freddy would in a night. You know, he's like, well, just like all the robots. You know, it's just like a slow, measured pace will catch you up to them no matter what. They jump out the windows that they drove their bikes through. The other guy says that the coach is dying to stick one of those missiles up his ass. How does he know that?
And so they get into a bus and take off. So Cody and Tracy Lynn, they get in.
The guy from the other gang is kind of drawing his fire while they try to get away. Which is like, you're going to die, bro. This never ends good for those guys.
But that was pretty cool. He shoots a missile at one of the towers. And it just explodes.
Explodes like there is like 200 pounds of TNT in it.
Oh yeah, but draws just enough attention for them to drive the bus into Patrick Kilpatrick.
Yeah, which the physics of that is weird.
But they drive it up a flight of stairs.
Yeah, 2 flights of stairs.
To crash it into him, very much T2 style.
Oh, yeah. The whole front of the school is just on fire. Just a huge... Cody throws her down. He does like a little butt grab that's just totally gratuitous. He knows she's in tights and... Oh, I was wrong. The Razorhead guy...
He didn't die.
He makes it out, but...
Yet.
He's looking a little... Everybody has a lot of, like, scalp wounds where the blood is, like, seeping through their hair.
So they go into the school just to check out the carnage, see who's left, which is nobody.
Yeah, even the pet turtle is dead by this point.
They run away, and are they going to, like, shop class?
That would be a good idea. Since there would be like tools and crap there.
But you see, of course, Patrick Kilpatrick
just has the laziest parents in the world.
Still alive underneath the bus. His T2 mostly...
Don't even say T2.
No.
It's basically like the band at Chuck E. Cheese if you tore like part of their like costume away. It is not good. Does not look good. Well, I don't know. It does look very creepy that he has like one normal eye and then that.
Yeah, half robotic face.
But he's real herky-jerky in his like full robot form.
So they end up running to like shop class and they find Stacy Keach.
Where's he been hiding this entire time?
I don't know, because they killed Malcolm McDowell, and then after that, you just don't see him. And he doesn't see you either.
Yeah. So he grabs Tracy Lind and holds her at gunpoint just to have a Q&A with Cody and this other kid.
Yeah, just kind of. So on a scale of 1 to 10, what do you think the killbots are doing a good job?
Can you fill out this comment card? We would really...
I'd love to hear from you.
It's just a short survey. We'll put it on this receipt. If you'll just go to killbots.com.
Killbots.org/
kill combo number 1.
Yeah, kill combo 1.
So Stacy Keach just had her at gunpoint until T-Bot, whatever's left of him, comes in and shoves his arm right through his midsection.
Yeah, he's just killing everybody.
And when Tracy Lynn runs away and gets on the ladder, and as he's trying to, it is so cheesy with him just trying to climb up that ladder.
Yeah. Why don't they just hide in Tracy Lynn's hair until all the robots go away? She has huge hair in this movie.
Have you ever been in a shop class in a high school that
has a jungle gym in it?
that has a freaking forklift in it?
Yeah. I don't know that they're in shop class. I think they're in but you're right. Like, I don't even know what this room is to have a fork. What are they getting, like pallets of milk?
Of soy milk?
Her and the coach bot she's trying to beat him by climbing up this ladder, which she is not. It's like she has never climbed a ladder before. But he gets in the forklift and manages to stick one of those tines through coach bot and not her.
Without hitting her.
He basically is like, there is like a 70% chance that I'm going to kill my girlfriend too.
And I'm okay with that.
That's a risk I have to take.
The bot still has a hold of her, and he says to wrap a chain around her head that's a hook to a hoist from the ceiling.
Which she immediately does and is very successful at it.
And so he does donuts. He just starts doing donuts.
Just ripping donuts.
In shop class that twists the bot's head off.
Yeah, which that was pretty cool.
To see the bot ripped apart like that, yeah.
Yeah, they're mostly like slime. You know, they have a bunch of slime in them. It's like you can't do that on television or something. Some of that looked kind of cool, like with his
facial expressions. That face was kind of cool. It was.
It was kind of cool. When they walked out, they should have just like snipped Stacy Keach's rat tail off as like a souvenir. He was just laying there dead.
But did they leave the other kid behind? I thought he just got shot in the shoulder.
They had a small scene. He was like, I'm out of here.
Oh, did he run out? Or did he get run over by the forklift as he was doing donuts?
I don't know. Or the school bus that hurtled at 80 miles an hour up the set. That is probably my favorite scene of the movie, is when that bus goes through the front door. That was pretty awesome.
You gotta say, man, they spend some money on that.
Yeah.
On the explosions, on the sets, not so much the clothing.
Not a dime on wardrobe. That looks like they got all of like Parliament Funkadelics like clothes from the 70s.
Awesome.
At like a estate sale or something.
So, this was the first time watch for me. I enjoyed it. I think my wife enjoyed it too, because this is right around her time, of just the 90s era. You remember about going to the video store, going to the movies, and seeing just anything that was out there. This was very entertaining.
Yeah. Have you ever thought about becoming a cyborg?
I have contemplated it.
Well, we're all going to get downloaded to the singularity.
You brought that up before.
I don't know what that means.
You quickly said the same thing. You didn't know what that meant.
I don't know. It just sounds good.
So yeah, Class of 1999, a loose sequel to Class of 1984. When did Class of 1984 come out?
I want to say just a couple of years
Yeah, 84 was in 82, actually.
Right, yeah. So
this was 1990 when it came out.
Right. But that's also what's funny about this one is like their idea of the future is going to happen in just a couple of years, you know?
Mm-hmm. Did you see that the class of 1984 was written by Tom Holland?
No.
Yeah.
Love Tom Holland. Well, then wait a minute. Doesn't that go back to, no, it doesn't.
Trying to get back to Fudge?
Or just Fright Night, but wait a minute. That's not the same.
That was Fright Night. Tom Holland wrote Fright Night.
Right. Well, and I think I was thinking that the fact that Tracy Lind was, but that's Fright Night 2. I don't know if he wrote the second one.
Don't see that.
These are all questions that
need to be answered by somebody.
Yeah, not us.
And that's right. That's why we were going back, because The Beast Within, written by Tom Holland, class of 1984, Psycho 2, Fright Night, characters from Fright Night 2, screenplay for Child's Play. We've gone through all this before.
Yeah, this is well-trod territory. Although, there's a couple of those movies that I would like to watch again.
So, in class of 1984, had Michael J. Fox in it?
Yes. He has a very small part.
And Roddy McDowell, not Malcolm McDowell.
Oh, right. It has a McDowell in it. We got to get a McDowell in here. It also has Perry King, who was on Riptide for a long time. I saw that mustache, and I was like, I know this guy. And I looked it up, and I was like, boom, Riptide.
What else was he around? His face looks a lot like, help me out.
Yeah, he's kind of not Richard Chamberlain, but like a...
little Richard Chamberlain, maybe, but I was thinking Alan Rickman, too. Maybe Richard Chamberlain and Alan Rickman had a bastard child together, and it's Perry King.
Are you just saying that because you want to hear my flawless Alan Rickman imitation?
That's it.
No, I'm not going to do it here.
We'll save it for another time.
I'll save it.
You have to pay for that.
Yeah, exactly. That's in the Patreon. It's just my... Tracy Lind was in My Boyfriend's Back.
Mm-hmm. I saw that.
And Philip Seymour Hoffman is kind of a thug in it.
Really? Like a young thug?
Yeah, he's one of the bad guys.
I want to say maybe I saw that once on accident.
Yeah, maybe. The only reason anyone has ever seen that movie is because Tracy Lind was in it, I think. Matthew Fox was in that, too.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So was Bill Pullman. No, wait. That's The End of Violence. I have never heard of that movie. She has blonde hair in that.
The End of Violence. No, I don't know that one either. And that has Andy McDowell in it.
My God. We've got to shut the podcast down right now. They're sending agents after us.
Oh my God. You just went right over the fact that Bob Balaban directed My Boyfriend's Back.
Wait, what? Hang on a second. Are you sure you're looking at the right thing here?
Oh, God damn it.
Hang on. Stop the podcast. Just erase this podcast. This might be more important. We're going to do another 3 hours.
Oh, jeez.
Boyfriend's Back.
Yeah.
That I can't even handle that right now. And surely there's not two Bob Balabans running around out there. Nope. There he is. I see him. Robert Elmer Balaban. Oh, God.
Oh, shit. He's the new Fudge.
Yeah, he's our new Fudge. We're going to do that Balaban fan club. What did I call it? I called it something on that other...
Balabandians?
I think I said All About Balaban, which was fun to say.
So did you notice that Tracy Lind, though L-I-N-D, also went by Tracy Lynn, just L-I-N? I saw that in the credit when the movie was rolling there, that it did not have a D on her name.
Typo?
And she also went by Tracy Lynn as L-I-N-N.
There's a lot of actors that do that, but only change their name by like one letter. Like, we know who you are. It's like getting another email address, and it's just like one.
This is the name I use to get more records and tapes from.
Yes, exactly. It was like an insurance scam or something that she was into.
BMG Music.
Yeah.
All right. Well, do you have anything else to offer on this movie?
No, I really don't. And I think that just the highlights are Pam Grier, Tracy Lind, tons of explosions. The last 30 minutes of the movie is pretty cool. I enjoy it. Joshua John, I always stop myself. It's Joshua John Miller, right?
Correct.
He is just, I mean, I'm sure Near Dark will come around one of these days. And everything he is in.
Which is only a handful of things.
Right. But there's like value added, you know?
So we'll have to look him up and go down his path a little bit more too.
Well, you know, we have talked about him before because he's come up before, but I don't remember how.
I know we've talked about him. He wrote The Final Girls.
Yes, maybe that's it. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of that's been recently.
Mm.
And he was in Teen Witch. He was the little brother in Teen Witch.
And he was in Death Warrant, The Willies. The Willies is how I got here. And he was in Season of the Witch, Halloween 3.
Oh, really?
And that's what we need to go back and find him as just one of the kids.
Yeah, I mean, he's probably just one of the kids.
Yeah.
That wears that has the mask on. Oh, man, I'm looking it up right now.
But think of that. Halloween 3 Season of the Witch was 1982.
Okay.
He would have been 8 years old.
Right.
In the making of that film.
Right. And then River's Edge would be not
86.
Right.
So not too far away.
Yeah.
Interesting. Very interesting.
I think maybe he grew out of those types of characters that they were using him for. And then he just didn't really fit anything else once he grew up. So then he became a successful writer, I guess. I mean,
the last thing he was in was The Wizard of Gore.
The remake.
Yes. Which has Bijou Phillips, Crispin Glover, Jeffrey Combs, Brad Dourif.
Oh my God. That's literally
the remake. All right. Well, let's shut this bitch down.
All righty. We did it.
We did. That was a lot of fun. Again, please like, share, and subscribe. All of our bullshit. We're on Twitter. We're on Facebook group. We
buy a t-shirt at least.
We have Instagram. Buy several t-shirts. Please. That's our only form of income right now. And I've marked the prices down so we make all of $2 per shirt.
Right.
Because I'm not trying to gouge you. I want my $2.
Exactly. Perfect.
All right. Last words?
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
You've been listening to The Moratorium, an MT Cornfield production. For more fun and stupidity, stay tuned. Next week, Jason and I break down this futuristic cyborg high school gangbanger and then take a peek into some interesting careers of a few character actors. We also continue our quest in a new segment aptly named The Goratorium. Check out our website for everything Moratorium, including movie links, movie reviews, merch, and more. Again, please like, share, and subscribe, then rinse and repeat. We appreciate your support. If you have any movie suggestions or just want to tell us how much we really suck, you can contact us at moviemoratorium@gmail.com. Thanks for listening, and long live VHS.
Teachbots is horrible.